25, and we're just gonna piggyback off of what we did yesterday and keep continuing with the Beethoven Sonata. So we're gonna do the development now. All right, so let's get started. So once again, I don't want to just sit on these B flats, the 4 B flats in a row, or the Ds. I want to give them some sort of direction. So that's where I'm gonna start. And then when I get to the arpeggios, the descending arpeggios, I'm going to want to give those different dynamics to make it interesting. Otherwise, it'll be super boring. And what's going on there is the piano is doing all these different chords, and so you guys are interacting with each other. So if you have some sort of musical direction, that'll give them something to listen to and to match. So that's really fun. That's what music making is all about. All right, here we go. Da da dum 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 is what I think it is. Okay, that was right. Okay, so I checked that B flat, right? So my face wasn't using the right amount of activation for that. So let me see. My C was a little sharp, but basically, I don't know if it came through in the recording, but what I was trying to do was play with those dynamics. So, and especially when you have those repeated Fs, you don't want anything to be stagnant. So that's why I started soft and then crescendo. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so there I was trying, you could do this 2 different ways. So what I was doing is I was leading towards the lower notes, right? So dum 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 dum, and I backed off on the higher notes. So you could do that the opposite, right? So you could go, let me sing it first. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. So dum 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 dum. Okay, let me try that. Okay, that for me is not supernatural, so I would go back to the first one. Oops, I messed that up. But part of the reason I missed that was because I had thoughts. So I was trying to lead into that dissonance, that F sharp. Right, dum, dump, and then I release that tension onto the G. So I make the G less. Alright, so that's a little bit of a tricky passage. Some people like to change fingerings there, so I've seen it where people go, ooh, that's hard for me. That's not a very stable note, but they use thumb 1 and 3. Right? I kind of like lip slurs, so I use those. And kind of the key to this, even though there is a rest, there's an 8th note rest after that G, I like to let the air flow. Even though my lips stop vibrating for that half note, or for that 8th note rest, I kind of just, I don't stop breathing. Does that make sense? Or I don't like hold my breath or take another breath. I just let the air just, or like the sound just stop. But the breath is still going. That makes it a lot easier, almost like a long tone. All right. Okay, so this is another little technical passage here, and I didn't necessarily play this the best either. Once again, some people like doing fingering. That is a train wreck for me, but some people like doing that. So that's another option that you could try. But really what I want to do here is figure out where the phrasing is going. Obviously the piano is doing some cool stuff here, and you're just kind of accompanying them. But you want to make that as musical as possible. So I'm going to go... So let's see. I want to go dum 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 dum. So I'm gonna at the second time that happens, I'm gonna make that a little softer, and then I'm gonna crescendo up to the third dotted eighth 16th, and then I'm gonna start my dynamic over again when I hit those eighth notes. So I'm gonna go piano there, and then crescendo all the way up to that fortissimo. So let's see if I can achieve that. Okay, so hopefully that came through, and hopefully that was more interesting for you to listen to. Alright, so now I'm gonna do, this is the recap. So what we've got here is some options, right? So in my video yesterday, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to do the B flat horn or the F horn. Today I'm going to choose the F horn and just see how that goes. La-dee-da-da. There was a wrong note there. I actually tried to play a C sharp, but my ears heard the right note. So it just kind of was wonky. Let me try one more time. Oh, let me do it this time with the F or with the B flat horn. See if there's a difference. I've emptied my spit out. You can hear it crack, snapple, and popping. Crap. What is that called? Crack, snapple? No. Gracious. The crack, snackle, and pop, I think is what it's called. That's from those Rice Krispie treats. Okay. So once again, just really playing with the musicality and the dynamics. And also, I know my valves are they're really bad. That's the old horn, and I, for some reason, refuse to oil them. Okay. So, now we've got dum 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 dum. Once again, I'm going to double tongue these, so... So my double tongue was going, but I didn't have the right notes in my head, and also just in my face. One. Okay, so I was going for an extreme dynamic there, and it actually just made it a little bit on the higher end of the pitch, which kind of made it crack up So that would be something in my control exercises that I would need to address. Okay, so that is similar to that issue that I had with yesterday. Actually, my C came out pretty good there, but I did have that little niggling doubt in my head, like, oh, is this going to come out? And usually when I have those thoughts, it doesn't come out. This time it did, but, you know, that was a fluke. So working on getting that those negative thoughts out of my head is always a struggle. Okay. Ow, that G. Let's try that again. Okay, so part of that is that I'm not hearing da, 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 da. So now that I have it in my head. So let me play it da, 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 babe. Da, da, dee, da, and hold that out. Okay, so now let me try it. And then, really, if I was picky with myself, I wasn't happy with how I phrased that. And usually if I'm thinking about the phrasing, the notes just come out a little bit better. Alright, now we got some low notes. So we want to be really relaxed here. Ha! Okay. Okay, so because I've been playing at this tempo that I hear in my head, the only way for me to actually play this ending is to double tongue. If I single tongued it, first of all, it sounds really labored, and also it is so much slower. So this is something that I have to practice in the practice room, because at the tempo I hear the music at, I need to double tongue. So I'm just going to butcher it for now, and then I'm going to work on it later. So here's what it's going to kind of sound like. Alright, da 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 da. I have hair in my mouth. It's disgusting. Wow, that was terrible. Okay, so let's do it slow, but I'm still double tonguing it. So that's why being able to slur is really important. Because when you double tongue, it's kind of like a slur because the ka is like not as crisp. Does that make sense? Okay, so you may not be able to tell, but I'm double tonguing each of those notes. So now a little faster. Okay, so this is where that thing that I was talking about yesterday, so can really come in handy. So if you want to learn this at tempo and not slow it down, you would chunk it up and break it into different parts. So I would take the first two notes. Okay, and play that till I got that right in tempo. Then I would take three notes. Okay, then then you take 4 notes. So you see my ka is not very great on that C, but eventually it's going to be going by so fast that it's not really going to matter. Okay, then you take that's 6 notes. And you would do that until it's really clean. And then you eventually do the entire passage. And I've heard that can actually speed up your process a lot. Sorry for butchering the ending of that, but once again, I'm not practicing any of this stuff except for with you guys and then what I do after. So what you're getting from me is the raw end of things. And I want to be truthful and honest with you guys about where I'm actually at so that you can actually see the progress. Otherwise, why am I doing this? Okay, I hope you have fun with the rest of this movement. It's a good piece. All right, see you tomorrow.